So today I'm going to be doing a speed paint of Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So typically I start with the head and like the face and everything, and the way I draw is kind of like not proper. I don't know, I don't like do it right. I don't start off with like the circle and then like the X and like the base and everything. I kind of just get right into it. Um I've been pre-recording a bunch of things for the next couple of weeks because the finals are coming up, and I don't want to be making videos during that time, obviously. So, there's a Minecraft video coming out, Zoob stuff, but it's all pre-recorded. I've been cramming. Um, I'm doing a series of speed paints on, like, characters from movies that I love. Um, Tomorrow's is going to be Ellie Sattler from, oh, I'm going to cut that out. That was a spoiler. Tomorrow, I'm going to be drawing a character from Jurassic Park. Well, it's already drawn and done, but I'll be showing you. I'm not exactly really happy with the way it turned out because I was kind of rushing it, but the other ones are better. After that is a character from Saw, and then Beetlejuice, and I have some from like a bunch of other movies that I just really enjoy. I chose Esmeralda from the 1996 Disney film The Hunchback of Notre Dame because it's like my favorite Disney movie ever. And when I was thinking about characters to draw, I was really thinking about like what would be closest to my art style. And like artists gain their art style from like things that influenced them in like their early childhood. And for me, that was Disney and anime. So if you look at my art in general, which I don't show much on here, most of, like all my art is from like 7th grade on here, and it's not good. But if you look at my art, I might put some examples in here. It's a lot of Disney and anime influence. That's why my eyes are as big as they are usually, and all of my characters look like kind of twigs almost. So next is the coloring process. I do my art on Notability, which is an app made for taking notes. And like if I didn't do what I do usually, like which is what you're seeing right now, I would have to trace in the lines and like color it in like a coloring book, and that never looks good. So what I do is I get the figure, I take the outline and I color it how I want it to look, and I put it on a background. And essentially what I do is I like use the partial eraser tool on Notability, and I kind of like carve out the figure. With this, I was just trying to get her skin tone down and like her eyes and everything. I used the most intense shade of green that I could find because that's like where she gets her name from, is her powerful green eyes. I should use an actual art program, but that would require me like learning things, and I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not going to. The lips served as a kind of obstacle for me because I kept not liking how they looked. To me, it felt like I was making them look like those old racist cartoons. But, you know, probably not. This is another example of a technique I use. You see, I wouldn't be able to trace the outline properly if I had just made the background black, so I made it gray, and then after I cut it out, I colored it black so that I could see how it would look. And then you could just, like, grab it with your select tool and just place it on your character like a little hat. Life hacks. Still don't like the way their lips look, so I completely erased her mouth, and I started again. It's a little bit better. And then it's just like the fine little details of her face, shadow, and everything. And this one I started making her clothes. So I started off with like I don't know what you call it, the poofy white part. Obviously I couldn't like differentiate if I used a white background, so I made it neon green at first and put the gray outline over it for the outline of the shirt, I guess. I don't know what you'd call that. But cut that out, and then I deleted the green and made it white. And for whatever reason, this took me forever because I was just really confused. I was listening to a podcast while I did this. There was a hole right there, so I had to patch that up. It took, like, a lot longer than it should have. But then, just put it right onto the figure, like a little puzzle piece. That also took kind of a long time. You could see me struggling here. I really should use an actual app for this. Then I went online and tried to look for a reference picture, and I grabbed one so I could like get the color from the dress because I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. But like if you look up Esmeralda online, most pictures of her are like of her in the dark. I only found one of her like in the sunlight. that's the one I used. Here I'm doing her little turquoise middle part with the stripes. I don't understand her outfit at all. I don't know how it works, but that's what I did. And then pretty soon I realized that I forgot to do the arms, so I had to quickly do that, which proved to be really annoying because I had to like account for all the little fingers and everything. And I had to like make sure the outline looked right. It looked really bad at first. There was a lot of like weird open spaces. I don't know how to describe it. I was almost done with the top half of her body. All I had to do is like cut it out of the outline, which is what I'm doing right now. And after I cut out the outline, I worked on the bottom half of the gown. Well, no, I didn't. Before that, I worked on the tambourine, and I didn't catch the first part with screen recording because I messed up. But I made it kind of a skin tone color. This is the color I usually use on like characters. And I just really liked how it perfectly fit in her hand. I really did good on that. I'm really proud of that tambourine, if nothing else, on this drawing. And then I had to like get the outline and make it purple, a darker shade of purple than what the dress was actually going to be, so you could tell it from the background that it was going to be on. And then I cut out too much and I had to re-outline it. That was really annoying, but I was able to do it eventually. What I found weird was like all the little folds in her dress. I didn't know how to make that look right. I think I'd like erased them by accident, so I had to like remake them all over again. And this was the biggest pain in the butt ever. The little yellow thing that separates the top half of the gown from the bottom half. It just looked so awkward and cumbersome. I kind of didn't want to add it in, but I did, just to be like true to the character. At this point, I was almost done. I just had to cut everything out and put it together like a little puzzle, and then the figure was done. So I just had to add the little fine details like the shadows and to make it look dynamic, as my middle school art teacher would have said. I then had to like make the behind the eyes white because it's just like an empty void, and I didn't want it to look weird on the background. And so this is the finished product. I really like how the first one turned out. So yeah, tomorrow will be Ellie from Jurassic Park. That one's just spoiled, but rest are a surprise.